Should the media be able to destroy somebody's reputation with anonymous sources and questionable perspective? Let's look at two stories from the past week which showcase what I'm talking about from both sides of the spectrum. The first is from Aziz Ansari. A news website called Babe put out an article that said, "I went on a date with Aziz Ansari. It turned into the worst night of my life." With the help of Twitter's featured news section and others, this turned into a major national story and a character assassination of Aziz Ansari. Let's look at the article. The woman involved wouldn't even show her face or her name, yet she posts pictures of Aziz Ansari, saying we met at an Emmys after party, they ran into each other. He suggested that she put her number in his phone. When her plane landed back in New York the next day, she already had a message from him. They exchanged flirtatious banter over text for a week. So they were flirting with each other. She went on a date with him, where for some reason she includes in the article, "I choose and prefer red wine, but it was white wine." She says he was eager to leave after they went on a date, after they flirted for a week, and she decided to walk back to his apartment. She also posts another picture of his arms and the food. She says she felt uncomfortable. He undressed himself, he undressed her. Aziz went to grab a condom. She said, well, let's relax. He resumed kissing her briefly, performed oral sex on her, and asked her to do the same. She did it. She performed oral sex on him. It was really quick. Everything was pretty much touched and done within 10 minutes of hooking up, except for actual sex. He has since apologized, saying it seemed consensual at the time, which even in the article that she anonymously character assassinated Aziz Ansari for the whole nation to see, it seemed pretty consensual. She gave him oral sex. The fact that she can pretty much ruin his reputation anonymously, just off her interpretation of a bad date, is getting a little bit ridiculous. I'm all for women's empowerment. I'm all for stopping rape and all of these terrible things. But is this the new standard? You can anonymously destroy somebody's career even though you admitted that you flirted with them for a week, went on a date with them, walked back to their apartment, performed oral sex on them, and then said it was a huge mistake. At what point are we going to truly empower women and tell them that they have the right to leave, the right to prevent this situation from happening? In all due respect, I truly feel like third wave feminism is spiraling out of control. They can and will destroy everybody's character with suspect opinions and anonymous reporting. Now all it takes is a bad date and a misunderstanding to ruin someone's life, and everybody's just okay with that? Well, good luck. Just don't be surprised, even if you're a liberal, a person of color, or a woman, if you are next. Stories like this undermine real rape, real discrimination, human trafficking, and other awful realities that the mainstream media and Twitter never seem to talk about. Once again, let me know your thoughts. The next example of this anonymous sourced rumor-style character assassination comes from the biggest story in the United States this week, which was started by the Washington Post claiming that President Trump said African countries and Haiti are shithole countries. Since CNN, NBC, all the mainstream media picked up on it, African leaders demanded an apology, all of social media was buzzing about it. It must have been a really clear-cut story with confirmed sources, correct? Actually, not at all. If you look at this story, the quote-unquote source was referenced 3 times. It was, according to several people briefed on the meeting, according to these people, and according to people familiar with the meeting. In a political climate where the Washington Post has already had to retract a fake, fabricated, completely fictional story they made up, the New York Times had to retract one of the most quoted and misrepresented stories of 2017, CNN has had to retract multiple fake stories. I'm sorry, but according to several people familiar with this meeting, just isn't going to do it for me when I already know there are hundreds of politicians and millions of people who will lie just to character assassinate the other side of the political debate. Unfortunately, this is the reality that we live in. So to me, I don't care if it's liberal darling Aziz Ansari or the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. I'm not really comfortable with a media climate where questionable anonymous reporting and an unsourced, unproven anonymous rumor can be 2 of the biggest stories in not only the United States of America, but in some cases, the entire world. Something about that doesn't seem right to me. I love this planet. I love women. I respect everyone. We all make mistakes. We've all had weird encounters. We've all had misunderstandings. We all have our own perspective, especially when it comes to politics. But what are we becoming? What are we allowing? When I went on a date with a celebrity and took no self-accountability and no self-responsibility, and an unsourced anonymous rumor becomes global outrage, And the number one story over human trafficking, the Libyan slave trade crisis, where actual people are being sold into slavery in 2017 and 2018, where a rumor can be the top political story, yet 11 indictments on the Uranium One scandal wasn't picked up by CNN, Washington Post, New York Times, and MSNBC, who have spent the last year talking about Russia collusion. Yet when an 11-count indictment gets placed in a Russian bribery scandal, they say nothing. This is becoming beyond ridiculous. Let me know your thoughts. As always, much love. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America, and God bless this planet. Every country and every human being on it, as well as the animals, why not? But let's communicate better. Let's have more conversations and open dialogue. Let's try to show love rather than trying to destroy everyone and everything that doesn't agree with our perspective. We have to draw the line somewhere. And for me, that somewhere is right here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for considering, and let me know how I could help.